When we're projecting hard climbs, sometimes we sound like this. Today, Tyler and I are tackling both new and old projects to us. During our projecting session, we will be going over a couple of mindset and attitude tips in order to get those sends. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
So greasy. Pinchers, slopers, slippery. This is a newish to me. How many times have I gone it? Like 3 times? Is it like the top of my range? Kind of. It's usually my project level. It's that and like 1 level higher are my project levels. I have a really hard time not sending things. It's just really difficult for me, honestly. I mean, like, I feel like it's very common for a lot of climbers to like equate their like quality of life to topping boulders. I feel like if I leave the idea of sending at the door, I've noticed a change in my mindset once I've been able to go, okay, the only thing that I'm sending today is like my warm-up routes. And like that's okay. I end up like actually celebrating really small progress on all of my climbs. Even if like, and I find like sometimes my progress, like my celebration gets like even smaller and smaller. Sometimes I've celebrated literally like I've moved a foot, like, didn't even get anywhere, kicked the wall in a different way, and I'm like, wow, that was something different and exciting. So I really think that if you can make your like margin for celebration not just like I topped the boulder, that's when you celebrate, like make it really small, and you're gonna be feeling a lot better about your projects and your progress on it. I know that I was able to get this one and then this. I like ended up matching on it and I fell going to that next one, I think all 3 times. I feel like something about like the wrist being blocked is way worse. Like I think that it was a great idea to get onto the good side of it with this hand. And I intentionally really thought about going under so that way that can go, because I feel like if your hands were this, then like, but the way that I like have to like cut on it, also it just felt so much worse. Yeah, a little less power, but my feet felt good. So I'm gonna try it again. The last attempt I got really close. I actually like overshot that hold. But the problem that I'm having right now is that like I can't quite figure out what helped me get that close to getting that next hold. And I'm not sure if it was like something about my foot placement, my foot weight, my pulling on the hands, my lock off, my like length. Like I can't really piece together what made it really close last time. So I don't know. Like I'm just gonna go try it again and maybe just see what my body tells me. I don't know. That felt like a foot problem more than an arm problem. We just looked at the clip of my last attempt and I was like, why am I falling off? Like, what's going on? And we like scrubbed it really, really slow. And we noticed 2 things. That one, my hips are too far to the right of the hold and they're not moving that way. So Tyler and I were discussing the idea of like rocking over, or at least just getting my hips a little bit more left. And then number 2, we also noticed that I was releasing my left hand to go way too early. Tyler recognized that like maybe I could do like a full pull up and get more of like where the hold is here, whereas I was like releasing my left hand, like I would pull up and then here I would go. My foot is okay. I actually thought that it was a foot problem, but now I'm not so sure after watching that video. I don't think it was a foot problem. Oh, that was it. I just need to get my thumb on it. I'm trying like a static version. I keep like skirting around the idea of it, but it's not like landing. Maybe squeezing my abs? Taking a break.
All right, so this is the new boulder that I chose to work on today. Definitely right at the top of my ability, if not something that may be out of my ability. I haven't sent a pink tape yet. I have no expectations. I think that's one of the really important things to remember when you're projecting something, especially that's new to you. Any progress that I make on this is huge, huge, huge. Don't care about sending it. It's a mix of crimps and sloper, whatever you want to call that thing. So this attempt, I'm just going to kind of see how it feels. I'm not going to like pull as hard as I possibly can. 70% try hard. I'm going to be starting it is here, put up, out to the crimp, probably to this, and then I haven't really thought any farther than that because I really want to get on it and see what it's going to feel like. So yeah, we're going to start there, see what happens. So I went exactly as far as I had thought out, and I didn't know what to do after that. Yeah, maybe the left hand up to the sloper, left foot crimp, maybe match on the sloper. I think I'm going to climb up and feel what that position is like. Oh, definitely not left hand to the crimp. Wow, that crimp is, it's actually almost exactly the shape, but shrink it by like 30%. It's little. I can fit like 3 fingers on it. Yeah, I think I want to go sloper. So I'm here, well, I'm here like this with the crimp. I want to go sloper, get a left foot onto this, right foot here, and then bring my right hand over to the crimp like that, maybe even match. Always have a plan, very important when you're projecting. My plan is going to be, I guess, utilizing the same beta as I did the first attempts. My only expectation is to get a little bit more comfortable in that last position that I left off in, and then see if I feel comfortable enough in that position to maybe try to make a move to the next sloper. That's crazy. Why did I fall off? I think I wanted to see what going to that sloper dynamically felt like. I could have gone farther down in the windup to get more momentum out of it. I fell off because I was trying something I hadn't tried before. Felt okay, but I think there are better options. Here I go again. Yeah, that time my fingertips were probably that far from the edge of the wall, where they should be right against the wall. I'm gonna just go up to the right hand sloper and the left crimp that's right next to this foot, I guess. See how that feels. Yeah, I feel like dropping the foot down might be better, but it kind of forces a pistol squat, which like once I get down into the pistol squat and my leg's really hanging down, I feel like it's going to be a lot harder to generate power instead of if my left foot is maybe here and right foot's here. So I was trying that before and it felt okay. Oh, that's so bad to match on. Oh my god. Cool. So I think I'm gonna move on from this one today. My skin is not the happiest, but I've made some really good progress. I think that I have some good ideas as far as what I want to try next. I think I'm going to go over there and try one of my old projects. Blah. So much chalk. Wow. The last time I was on this project, I spent an entire session with a friend of ours. Sometimes I make it here, sometimes I fall off the start like 5 times in a row because it's terrible. Sometimes I make it to here and I don't get any farther because that's the farthest I've made it on this after, I don't know, 3 weeks I think it's been set for. Time I get back on this, no expectations. If I get farther, that's super cool. I don't know. It is what it is. Progress is never linear, which is a really important thing to keep in mind, especially on an old project. You're never always going to feel the same as you did the last time you were on it. Sometimes you'll feel stronger, sometimes you'll feel weaker. Oh, like a full. I'll be honest, my fingers hurt. My skin was not good even at the start of the session. I feel pretty strong, but keeping all that in mind, like, 1, I am excited to work on this project, but 2, I don't feel like I'm at my best. So I think that's another really important thing to keep in mind is when you're coming into the gym and you're like knowing that you're going to be projecting, just be mindful of how you're feeling. Like, your excitement can be 100%. If you're not feeling good, like, just know that maybe it's not going to go how you want it to go, and that's okay. I think that it's still worth getting on that project. When you're feeling strong, you can push yourself hard, and maybe technique will occasionally fall to the wayside when you're trying to make a really tough move. And maybe that move will go when you are at peak performance. You'll wonder the next time you get on that project why you can't make that move again. And it's because you made that move being at that peak performance rather than utilizing technique. Don't focus on getting the next move purely by strength, because you're never going to feel that strong every session. Yeah, if your project is getting reset tomorrow, fuck your feelings, go hard. If you can't get it, that's it. It's game over after that. Oh, that move is just like so brutal. And then even with a foot, like right foot down instead of left foot and toe hooking underneath, with the right foot down, like, you're already springing off with so much power that, like, inherently it's just gonna pop out. And then, like, if you cut on that move, it's game over. That almost stuck. I went for the, like, center but a little bit lower of that hold. Like, I used a little bit less power, I think. That actually felt pretty good. It's that foot! That felt really good. I actually, even though I didn't necessarily get farther, I felt like that was a lot of progress for me. I'm happy to know that I think that I can stick that move when I'm feeling 100%. And knowing that I can do it now when I'm not feeling 100% and I'm getting really close to making that move. I'm excited. That's great.
You should really zone in on one of these holds to really showcase that it's not a crimp nor a sloper. I just feel like I've been through so much with this project. Like, going into it today, like, technically on paper, I have just the last move to figure out. But I feel like my first session with it, I like took like one whole session to get the first move or the first couple of moves, and then I took like another session to take like the next move or the next 2 moves, and like it's just been like a session by session thing. And then once I started getting closer to the top, and like getting to that last move to get to the top, I started fumbling my first moves because I was like way too excited about getting the top and everything. So I would say my last 2 sessions, I've been more frustrated than anything else because I show up and I'm like, in my mind, all I have is the idea that I have 1 move left. I'm gonna get the send, and this is my first black tape that hopefully I've ever sent, and that'll be like really exciting for me. I call them the send jitters, where you're just so excited with the idea that you're gonna send a project. I think it especially happens when it's like the next level up in your grading system. I feel like I've already had like 2 sessions that were ruined, not ruined, but like taken over by send jitters and everything, that like at this point going into it mentally, like it's still set. I think that it's still going to be up for another like 2 or 3 weeks. If it goes, it goes. I know the move that like I made progress on and then I regressed on during my send jitters, and I think right now I'm just gonna try that top move and I'm gonna skip that move that frustrates me and that usually gets caught up in the send jitters and I lose it. I feel like the best use of my time right now is just figuring out that top move because that's all that I have left. It's super slippery. Very dependent on micro betas. It's like the right position of your foot, the right squeeze of like your pinky finger, like that kind of stuff. So this being my first hop on it today, like very low expectations because I'm gonna have to like remind my body of the micro betas that I unlocked like the last session. So we just hop on. That was like my best attempt ever. Oh no, I can't get to the downhole. Oh, okay. That's really far. I think that's helping me with my send jitters is that I'm trying just the top. So it's not like as I'm making like move 1, move 2, move 3, that like happens like 50% of the time. And then when I get it, in the moment, I get really distracted and I'm like, oh my God, like it might work and like everything. But I feel like starting from the middle, like I'm not getting the send. And like that baseline idea that like that send is just not, it's like, it's not gonna happen because I'm starting in the middle. So like, I think it helps me mentally a little bit. Oh! Did you see that? Oh, no. My foot. I just have to say like how excited I am that if you can see me matching my hand right before the last move, that took me, I think, 4 sessions to be able to do, and it was like only like 20% of the time could I match and then I was falling out, and then could I match and then I was falling out. I have like a huge like chunk of my knee that is missing from falling off the wall doing that. So like every single attempt today, I've been able to do that match no problem, and I am excited. Like I'm pumped. like